In the late 19th century, Auburn, New York became the stage for a remarkable story of ambition and cultural transformation. At the heart of this story was Edwin Burtis, a man whose journey from brewer to visionary would create a landmark that, for a time, stood unrivaled in its grandeur. Edwin Burtis arrived in Auburn with little more than a keen mind and a brewing talent. As the century drew near, he became one of Auburn's most successful businessmen. But Edwin was a man of diverse interests and began to nurture a dream beyond the world of hops and barley. In the early 1900s, Burtis announced plans to build a theater of unprecedented scale. Construction began, and Auburn watched in fascination as the building took shape. What emerged in 1904 was genuinely extraordinary. Burtis Auditorium was one of the largest theaters between New York City and Chicago. This claim spoke volumes about its ambition and scale. The Burtis Auditorium opened in 1904 with Auburn's Raymond Hitchcock starring in The Yankee Consul. The grand debut was just the beginning of the theater's illustrious history. Burtis Auditorium was the perfect venue for large-scale entertainment. It hosted spectacular theatrical productions, bringing the grandeur of big city shows to Auburn. The biblical play, The Wanderer, featured flocks of sheep, and later followed by Ben-Hur, which included horses and chariots. The horses were positioned on treadmills facing the audience, creating the illusion of racing horses when set into motion. The stage also welcomed a continuous lineup of top-notch plays and musicals direct from New York, providing Auburn's citizens access to the best of Broadway without leaving their hometown. The auditorium had a significant impact beyond entertainment as it became a focal point for civic life. Political rallies were held within its walls, and none were more impressive than those featuring Theodore Roosevelt, who could draw thousands to the theater and fill it with eager listeners. Burtis Auditorium also functioned as a center for the community. Amateur benefit performances provided a grand stage for local talents, nurturing a lively local art scene. For 35 years, the auditorium stood as a cultural beacon for Auburn and surrounding communities. It was a source of pride, symbolizing the town's growth and sophistication. Edwin Burtis had not only changed his fortunes, but also elevated his adopted hometown's cultural landscape. Regrettably, the auditorium's prosperous era came to an end due to the Great Depression and changing entertainment preferences. In 1939, just 35 years after its grand opening, the decision was made to demolish the once proud auditorium. The community reacted with a mix of sadness and nostalgia upon learning of the theater's demise, having cherished it for such a short time. A part of Burtis's dream continued to exist for another 30 years or so in the form of the theater's annex, which was sold and repurposed for retail spaces and a bus station. However, this last piece was lost in a fire in 1974, erasing the final physical remnant of Edwin Burtis's theatrical legacy. The once magnificent Burtis Auditorium no longer exists today, but its impact on Auburn's cultural history is undeniable. The story of Edwin Burtis and his auditorium serves as a poignant reminder of how one individual can influence a community and how time and change can alter our cultural landmarks. Its absence creates a noticeable void in Auburn's cultural heritage, a loss deeply felt by all who remember its grandeur. Though the curtain has long since fallen on Burtis Auditorium, its memory continues to enrich Auburn's cultural heritage. It stands as a bittersweet reminder of a bygone era when one man's dream brought the magic of theater, the excitement of sports, the enthusiasm of politics, and the pride of community to this small New York town on a scale that for a time rivaled the grandest venues in the nation.